The door slams shut, the iron lock clicks. You are a slave, property, in the greatest empire the world has ever seen. Your life is not your own. A master can beat you, starve you, sell you, and no one will stop him. For most, this would be a life of despair. But for one man, Epictetus, it was the beginning of freedom. He discovered something no master could touch: the mind. And from this invisible kingdom, he built a philosophy so unshakable that it would one day guide an emperor, and still speaks to us nearly 2,000 years later. Today, in a world drowning in distraction, anxiety, and outrage, his wisdom is not just ancient history, it is a weapon, a compass, a way to walk through chaos, untouched. Epictetus was born around 50 AD in the city of Hierapolis in modern-day Turkey. His name itself, Epictetus, wasn't even his real name, it simply means acquired or owned. From the start, his life was not his own. He belonged to a powerful Roman administrator named Epaphroditus, a freedman of Emperor Nero. Epaphroditus was known for both cruelty and political cunning. Under his roof, Epictetus learned a hard truth: the world does not care about fairness. And yet, this was where his journey began. In the cracks of suffering, he planted the seeds of a philosophy that would one day outlast empires. There is a story, perhaps true, perhaps legend, that during his time as a slave, Epictetus's leg was twisted by his master. Calmly he warned, "If you continue, you will break it." His master ignored him, kept twisting, and the bone snapped. Epictetus didn't cry out, he simply said, "Did I not tell you?" This was not indifference, it was mastery. Pain, he realized, is inevitable. Suffering is optional. What breaks is the body. What remains, if you choose, is the mind. Somewhere in those years of servitude, Epictetus discovered the works of the Stoics, philosophers like Zeno, Cleanthes, and Chrysippus. Their core message was radical: you do not control the world. You control only your judgments, your desires, and your actions. Everything else, wealth, health, reputation, is beyond your power and should be met with acceptance. For a man in chains, this was liberation. The world could take his body, but his mind would remain his own. Eventually Epictetus was freed, but unlike many who escaped slavery, he did not chase wealth or revenge. Instead, he chose a small, bare life dedicated to teaching. In Rome, he opened a school of philosophy. His students came not for clever arguments, but for survival tools. He taught in plain language, often through questions. If someone insults you, does it harm you, or only your opinion about it? If you lose everything, is your peace gone, or only your attachment to it? For Epictetus, philosophy was not a luxury of the elite, it was armor for the soul. One of the young men who studied Epictetus's writings long after his death was Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the world. Marcus would one day write in his journal, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That is Epictetus, speaking through the hand of an emperor. What's remarkable is this: a man born in slavery and a man born to rule were guided by the same truths. Freedom and power are not opposites, they are the same thing, found within. Seneca, the statesman and Stoic who lived before Epictetus, gave a warning that echoed in both their lives: it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor. Epictetus lived this to the letter. He owned little more than a lamp, a cloak, and a small bed. Once, when a thief stole his lamp, he shrugged and said, "He will be disappointed, he hoped for silver." To him, wealth was not in possessions, but in needing nothing. Epictetus taught that life is a series of events, many beyond our control. But there is a dividing line. On one side, what is in our control? Thoughts, choices, actions. On the other, what is not? The past, other people's opinions, the weather, death. Cross the line and you hand your happiness to the world. Stay on your side, and nothing can truly harm you. When Emperor Domitian expelled all philosophers from Rome, Epictetus left quietly. He settled in Nicopolis in northwestern Greece. There, his school grew famous. Governors, soldiers, and merchants traveled miles to hear him speak. They didn't come for comfort, they came to be reminded of what they already knew but tried to forget. That life's hardships are not curses, but training. If Epictetus lived today, he might say, stop scrolling for happiness, stop arguing with reality, stop living as if tomorrow is guaranteed. When your boss insults you, you can choose patience. When the economy crashes, you can choose resilience. When life hurts, as it always will, you can choose dignity. Epictetus died around 135 AD, in his home in Nicopolis. He left behind no fortune, no monuments, only words. Words that shaped emperors, and that can shape us. He would tell you now, you are not your body, you are not your possessions, you are not even your reputation, you are your choices, and those no one can take from you. In a life that began in chains, he found the truest freedom. That same freedom is waiting for you, here, now, in the empire of your own mind. Empires fall, fame fades, even memory disappears. But character, the ruler within, endures. Epictetus ruled nothing, and yet ruled everything that mattered. If you want more journeys into the minds of history's greatest thinkers, subscribe. Let's explore the wisdom that survives the centuries and still has the power to change yours.